Hi everyone, Lisa here from Forest City Stitching. I hope everyone had a great week. This should be a bit longer of a video than I have been posting because I have lots of stitching to show and some haul. So let's get down to it. It is snowing right now. I went out and took some stuff to Once Upon a Child. My son's old snowsuit and some other jackets and stuff, and then puttered around the mall there. I was waiting for them to call me to come pick up my items that they didn't accept, which was only one thing, so that was pretty good. And it made a whole $20, but that's okay. It's going to a place that people can go and buy a quality snowsuit for, not full price. So I'm happy to be able to, give his stuff, another life. So, so did that. Yesterday there was an open house at Stitches Central. So I'll show you what I got from there. Yeah, and so that's about it. I'm a little chilly now, so I will make myself some tea after this. But yeah, let's look at some haul and some stitching. These are just some little notebooks I got at the Dollar Tree today. So just wanted to bring them up here to put them under this desk. Okay, so first let's start with, I got my Grand Slam sock yarn from Timber Yarns, so I can make myself some Blue Jay socks for next season. And then I also ordered these little Bluebird stitch stoppers as well. So that came earlier this week. And then at Stitches Central, I got this gray 20 count fabric. Maybe I could use this for, so tomorrow we're having, as I mentioned before, I am orchestrating a round robin for Flosstube Friends by October House Fiber Arts. That's the designer of Flosstube Friends, that pattern, of a few different Flosstubers. So we have Karen the Stitching Owl, we have Kathy from Kathy Colson Stitching, Sheila from Mrs. Stitches, Sarah the Rocking Chair Stitcher, and Darlene from Darlene Dion Designs. I think I got everyone. So we're going to do this round robin. I've now figured it out that it'll take the whole year so that no one's stressed. And this is going to start on January 1st. I will probably put my first 200 stitches in it in December, like I always do with my new starts. But January is the kickoff date for that. Still waiting on the pattern from Stitches Central. I know they've been preoccupied with their open house, so hopefully I will hear something about that soon. But I did figure out that you can buy a PDF from the designer's website directly, so that's good to know. I have a piece of 18 count fabric that is just long enough. It would only give me a 1-inch border, from the sewing shop that I may use. But with the coloring, I'm not 100% sold on that. So I'm not sure. And then, so this Ada is 15 by 22, and it's 20 count. So it's like a, so it's a gray, but it's like a bluey gray. Yeah. So that might be an option. I know we don't want to go any higher than, like we're going to keep this as Ada and even weave the round robin. Again, to keep everything easy for those that are stitching, because everyone likes to stitch with different counts of things, right? But this might be okay for everyone to see the holes. That actually might be the perfect size. Because it is a longer rather than wide. All right, well, that's something to think about. So then I picked that up at Stitch Central. I picked up this Button and Beads kit. So it's the Spotted Cow. So I was inspired by Caesar Stitch because she stitched this. I think she did hers on fabric though. I think I will do it on the perforated paper. I did have to open the bottom because this was a little bit bent, just because the bottom was so tight that is bending the bottom a little bit. So I relaxed that a little bit. Yeah. Got that. And then I got some 18 count oatmeal Ada. And this pretty modeled, so this is one of the printed ones from DMC. I know, like, I haven't seen this design or this modeling in Michael's before. So it's a 14 count, so just add that as well. And then so Stitch It Central was having at the checkout, you did Plinko to determine your discount amount, and we got 15%. I say we because I dragged my son along, and he was the Plinko player. Karen the Stitching Owl was there. Looked like they put her in charge of the cross-stitch fabric area, so she was very busy. We did get to say hi briefly, but yeah, they were really busy, so I'm glad that they had such a great turnout. When I was at Walmart today, I did pick up the Christmas cross-stitch, Just Cross-Stitch magazine. I was hoping to get this at Stitch Central yesterday, but they didn't have any copies. So I'm glad that Walmart typically, I don't think they typically have all the Just Cross-Stitch, but they usually have like the special ones. You know, like the Halloween or the Christmas. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we got lots of things to show. So on my Canada Chats last Sunday, I worked on my year celebrations. With that being said, I should probably switch out my decorations I have up to November. And so I worked on the February, and I got February in during the Canada Chats. So that's how that's looking. So there's more hearts along the bottom. Some more hearts along the bottom like this, and then another little arrow right there. So not too terrible a lot. Should probably do a quick count on how much that, how many stitches that is. Yeah, because it is on my lip though. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get a whip coat this year, but that's okay. That's okay. Got out my so I'm officially behind all my quintessential Parisian Smalls. So, you know, I stayed caught up for 2 months. So here's my Biscorn news so far. This is just the bottom. So we got a little while to go. Yeah, so that's what the top will look like there. And so this month is this. I think he's calling it a pinwheel. But we'll see. It's okay. It is what it is. To my knowledge, we'll still always have access to the finishing videos that he is putting up on the Facebook page, so it's fine. Okay. Holiday countdown. I should probably get this done before the new one starts in under a month. No pressure. I did get a notification that my box is ready to pick up, so I'm going on Tuesday to pick that up along with my plan. That's how it's looking. So I just have some more petals in that flower there and there. There's a little flower down there. More petals here and here. Oh, I think there might be petals along like these diamond triangles. Deer go here, and then the date. And I will put 2024 in there, even though I'm not finishing it till 2025, just because it was the 2024 countdown. Yeah. All right, Snow Village. So for Whipco, it was to finish a section. This one's so slow going because I hate the fabric. I know that 100%. It's why this one's so slow. And I think I have something else on the same fabric. But this is the one. This popsicle stand is what I finished. So that one is all done. That's how it's looking so far. The fabric is too flimsy. That's the problem. Excuse me. I know there's a couple projects missing here in my planner. Okay. All fixed up now. Okay, kitty litter is one of my British Bake-Offs, and they're still stitching owing in that. So you will see this again. That's how that's looking. What I worked on was I finished the pink in here. I don't know, like, is this a ball yarn? I don't know what that is. There's back stitching that needs to go in here. And then just filled in some of the empty spots that were in there. So my goal on Whipco is to get this page done. But there is considerably a considerable amount of backstitching that needs to be done. And I probably should start folding this in a different manner because yeah. And then Prairie Schooler Santa. I know you've seen this one a lot, but it is also on my Whip Go. So you can tell as the year winds down, I'm just trying to kind of catch up on things that I do really want to get completed. So at this point, what I really want to get completed for certain, saying for certain worries me that I might not actually get that done, is the holiday countdown, hopefully before December 1st, and the put a bird on it. So I haven't put a bird on it in a couple months, so that might be a little bit more of a stretch. But this Prairie School Santa also on my Whip Go, and if I could get it done, that's kind of a quick finish. So I put in this quail pheasant type situation up here, and then I put in his beard and his hair. There is a fox, and I decided to change the coloring of the fox to be more orange, and use a 301 for that fox. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, someone on Instagram changed it, so I used her conversion of 301. I don't know off the top of my head her Instagram name right now, I'm sorry. But I'm not trying to take credit for that idea by any means. I had the idea I wanted to change it, and then I did some searching to see who else had changed it. All right, and then so another piece for Great British Bake Off is Winter Quakers, and it was fitting that I worked on that today because it is our first snow. So I was working on it this morning, and that's how it's looking. Let me fold that up so you don't have to see behind it. There we go. So I worked on that motif there. Very delicate, that's for sure. So yeah, this is another Bake Off piece. Bake Off is done. I am caught up watching it. Now I just need to do my best to see how far along I can get with catching up on the stitching. If I don't get 100% caught up, that is okay, because all these stitches receive some work at least because of it. So that is a win. Yeah. Well, here's my AB Singo board. Has a whole bunch of things that I would like to get done, or where I'm behind on different things. So that's fine. We don't need to dwell too much on that. Plans. Well, just as I said, you know, I do want to try to get some of these outstanding items done before the end of the year. Sorry, I just found a whole bunch of random. If I work from home, I work at this desk, and I haven't worked from home since I was sick there in October, but there's just a bunch of little notes with like a random phone number and something else for me to do. So let's get rid of those. Okay, rabbit hole. So yeah, finish the outstanding items that I have on Whip Go, Great British Bake Off to the best of my ability, and countdown is probably number one priority to get finished by December 1st. And then hopefully put a bird on it by the end of the year. Okay? Okay. And then I am off next Friday, so I think I'm going to go through my kitted stuff and maybe some of my patterns and make a game plan for new starts in December. So as other years I've done is keep most of my new starts to start after December, like 15th, so the middle of December. And then I can go nuts and start whatever I want. And then in the new year, then I want to finish something before I start something new. Right now, I am in a bit of a deficit in the fact that I do have more starts than I do finishes. So if I could get a few more finishes under my belt before the end of the year, that would make me feel better. So we'll see about that. But otherwise, December and middle of December and onward, I can start all the things before January 1st. So things that I am going to be starting that I know so far is, I don't know a lot so far, but it's going to be the Flosstube Friends, get at least 200 stitches in that. And that might be just like a New Year's Eve thing because our idea is for it to start January 1st. So I might put that on my plan for New Year's Eve. Amy from Renewing Stitches, she has a pattern that I also have. It's definitely from the 90s, and it's all these cows. I have stitched one pattern out of it before. And then there's this cow literally walking away from you. So I think we're calling it like cow bum. So I mentioned to her that we could start that together. So Amy, if you're watching, hopefully we can start that in the last half of December if you're up for it. And then I have this idea for a Blue Jay stitch for next season. So a lot of people are doing different challenges for like football right now where they have a stitch dedicated to their team and stitch a certain number of stitches depending on the points that team gets in a game. I don't know much about football, so I don't know how the points are determined, but I was thinking of doing something similar for baseball next year, and I'm going to start Blueberry J by Jet X Stitch. I haven't bought the pattern, but that's okay. I can get that easily. And I think I want to do it on the fabric that Carrie is recommending from Roxy Floss and order just like a couple, the two Roxy Floss that substitute the two the two specialty flosses. I think it's Threadworks that she uses. Yeah, so start that. So I need to order those 3 items for Evertote eventually. So yeah, so that's on my list. So start that, just put like 200 stitches in on it. And then during baseball season, I will stitch 100 stitches. Yes, because I did some math on this. 100 stitches for each run they get in. So, you know, some games they might blow it out of the park and it might be 11 runs. Some games they might not do very good at all and it might be 1 run or 0 runs, right? So looking at their stats from last year, again, this was very quick math, quick estimating, etc. looking at the runs that they achieved would give me essentially 8,000 stitches. And Blueberry J is 11,000 stitches, give or take. So that gets you pretty close to a finish on that one piece. So I think that will work. So that is going to be my plan for that. So if anyone is interested in joining in on a baseball stitch, I'm going to be doing Blueberry J, but maybe others want to do something else. But yeah, that's my idea for that. What else? Yeah, as of right now, I don't know of any other projects for certain I want to start. So that's why I kind of want to go through what I have. I don't think I'm going to start anything ginormous like I did last year, where I started 2 very large pieces, well, 3 very large pieces, because I started Peacock, Unicorn, and Badger, my Quarantine Cats, and my Disney piece. Oh, one thing I should start is my Thomas Kincaid Disney. That's the out of print chart, the out of print kit that I have. I should probably do that because it's just sitting in my closet and it's worth a lot of money. So I should probably get a start on that. I think I definitely want to change the fabric, because that fabric looks pretty stiff in there. I think I'll use the floss. I bought the kit. I think the kit was $80 when I bought it over 10 years ago. I know now the kit could potentially go for like close to $400. But I do want to stitch it. That's why I got it. It's the Cinderella Castle one. So you should start that for sure. Yeah. I almost had something. Oh, Jingle Ball. So I haven't bought my ticket for Jingle Ball yet, but I will. I was really close to signing up for the Stacey Nash Animal Cracker class for, I think her name's Ginger, because she is adorable. But I'm glad I didn't do it right away, because on second thought, like $40 is a lot for a PDF pattern. So, and when I actually do, I have, who do I have? Maggie May, that I got off the freebie table at Stitch North. So if I actually do get her stitched, I'm sure I can find a tutorial on how to put her together. So, but I will buy a general admission Jingle Ball ticket, and I'm sure there'll be other patterns that I buy that weekend. So that is my final decision on that. Okay, well, that is all I have, I think. So I hope everyone has a great week, and yeah, we'll talk to you next week.